Back to Blackacre Ranch, everybody. This last week and a half has actually been pretty stressful here at the ranch. There's been a lot of things going on from weather. Weather's been a big part of it. We went from Arctic freeze for most of a week, and then we just came by from this last week and just have had rain, inch after inch of rain. So we have actually had here at the ranch, I think over 7 inches of rain in 3.5 days or so. And it's affected things, right? So cold, all the water. We've had some issues with the pigs. We've had some updates with the buffalo, and even the dogs have a little bit of a little update on them too, kind of humorous. So anyway, we're gonna go over that with you guys and share with you kind of all these changes. Partly from weather, partly from us. But anyway, stick with us. I'm really trying to not have to feed a lot of supplement over winter time, but I don't think it's working a lot. So the buffalo in winter will get their nice warm fuzzy coats, and it can mask a lot of things. It's like women in makeup. My wife doesn't wear a lot of makeup, and actually kind of nice. So the fur hides a lot of imperfections, and so when you look at the animal and their health, and you kind of say, well, are they bony or are they not? Wintertime kind of masks a lot of that stuff. So in wintertime, all those buffalo are going to lose a lot of their metabolism. Here, let's get the truck and get over there. So they're going to actually consume a little less feed. Anyway, sometimes you might think, man, they're just not looking as good. And obviously it's going to be from a couple of things, I think. One, are there worming issues? Have you wormed your animals? If you have, it's probably not a worming issue. And so don't freak out. It's maybe just a feed issue. You know, if your pastures look like mine, and there's not a lot there. And then you gotta look at your hay. How much protein and supplements or nutrients are you getting out of your hay? And right now, our hay, I think, is only 7.1%. So the animals should have around 8% protein and a total digestive nutrition rating thing of like 55-ish. So we're kind of below that 8%. So that's why we've kind of been picking up on cubes. I don't want to have to do it, but we're only feeding about 2 pounds a day on average is what it is.
Okay, all good.
Is that good, or we'll go forward?
It's good. All the buckets?
Just 3.
Yeah.
We forgot some of our minerals, so she's gonna go get those real fast. We have here less animals than you guys probably would have remembered and saw the last time. We have actually 10 animals here. We have Ahmed and only 9 other ladies. These ladies are the ones that we definitely want to keep, and we are actually gonna be splitting up the herd. I kind of alluded that in, I think, the last video or something like that. But we have actually separated them off, and these are the ones that we want to keep. Some of these ladies, actually all of these ladies, should look really good. We looked at the performance data from their calves. These ladies not only look good, but they have some good calves as well. Their winter coats are on, and you know, they can kind of mask a little bit. Mary's got a little bit of a sunken in, I think, right there in front of the hips a little bit, but you know, that's kind of normal. Animals are going to have this. In wintertime, it is extremely hard to put on weight. You can put a lot of money into an animal and never see a lot of reward because of that metabolism thing. So, you know, if you're thinking they're not looking very good, it's either a worming thing or check your nutrition. That's pretty much what it always comes down to. Anyway, this is the herd, the main herd. Now we have to go get those minerals, so we're gonna get that done. But this actually looks really small, doesn't it? Not that it's bad, it just looks different, right? We do still have the other 10. They're over on the other side. We're gonna show them to you, but these are gonna be the base animals that we're gonna use for everything going forward. And hopefully we'll start with this lesser amount and then add in as we need, depending on the grasses that we have. All right, guys, where's the mineral? Here's the mineral. Here we go. Mary, are you a partaker? Anyone? Let's go check out the other ones, and I'm going to tell you the story about what happened when we were working these animals. That is a just total crapshoot, man, what all happened there. What are you guys doing here? You guys want the cubes. All right, here's the other herd. We have cornered off, or at least separated them off here. This is the joint feed area. You saw from earlier in the video, we brought these extra troughs, and oh my gosh, I think we need to really go through this and clear out some of this stuff. This is why I don't want the feed lot style, guys. And this is what I'm learning, is I knew I'd have to clean this out sometime, but gosh dang, I just didn't do it. And this is kind of embarrassing, but we're gonna have to get in the tractor. But these guys are hungry. You guys had your cubes. You guys go over, eat all over there. Don't worry about us. All right, we need to let these ladies out. These are the 10 ladies that we are willing to sell. We do have one. There's been a couple of them that'll probably be processed for some people. Maybe more, I'm not sure. But these are it, right? We have rebadged them, so you'll see that there's some white tags on some of them. You'll see that there's yellow tags on some of them. The yellow tags means we couldn't get the white ones on. Stacy. What's 13? 26 is Rose. Oh, there's Stephanie. 98, 99. Patricia Carroll, okay. I think that's Megan, right? There's Megan. I don't know what your number is, girlfriend, sorry. Who's this one? Who?
That's Tracy.
Is that Tracy? She looks really nice. Ah, so there's the 10 ladies up for sale. We do have a couple interested people. I will tell you though that I'm trying to sell them. They're not all accounted for yet to be sold. However, I do not ship buffalo after March 1st. I just think they're getting too close to the time when they're gonna potentially have calves in April and May, that I'm just not gonna be responsible for that, and I don't want that happening. So if these guys are not sold and shipped by March 1st, then they're gonna stay with us another year. And we're gonna deal with it at that point and see how it goes. But we're gonna try and get rid of them. Like I said, there's 2, maybe 3 that are gonna be gone already. The TBA does have a bison auction that they're doing. I may offload a few there. I don't know, we're gonna see. We're gonna try and trim it down. If there's a couple that we keep, 2 or 3, and join them back up in the herd, that's fine with me. So we'll just see how that works. All right, so here we are at the squeeze chute. This was kind of a fiasco. Last week we did it. So right after that cold snap, we had a little bit of a warming trend, and then it got real cold again. So we ended up working, it was like 38 degrees and a little bit of wind and anything else like that. Anyway, we wanted to preg check the ladies, we wanted to give them their injections, we wanted to give them their wormer, and I had to put RFID tags in the ears of the animals that we're gonna sell. Because I don't know if they're gonna cross state lines or not, right? So there's a number of things that we wanted to do. This wasn't just give them a couple shots and give them the dewormer and go. We had to add in preg testing. And so that means getting blood samples from their tail, which we struggled with last year. And I think we did better with this year. We'll probably show more of that, maybe, I don't know, when we work the rest of the main herd. So kind of what happened was, we got all the herd in and they came in pretty well, and we segregated them off here in the pens. The ones we're gonna keep, the ones that we aren't gonna keep. And I grabbed them and we started with the 10 that we're gonna be selling, ideally. And so we brought them in and we ran them 2 by 2 down. So I was over there doing that, and because we had so much of a volume up here to do, I would come up here and do this. So we would only just take 2 and we'd sort them out between the funnel here, and then we get them up to the squeeze chute, and we do all this stuff here at the squeeze chute. Everything was going good. The first 5 animals were going well, blood was flowing fine, everything was going good. And that's when it went really bad, because some of them wouldn't come and it affected things. And then when they got up to here, me having to be in a couple places made it difficult. 3 of them, we could not get their new ear tags on. 2 of them, we couldn't even get the RFID tags on. They would go down in the squeeze chute. They were stressed out, and I've looked at the data and I can't figure out really why they were so bad. Because over here, they just weren't that bad. They weren't panting. There's only 2 that were maybe panting. Those are, one of which went down, the other one didn't, but we just didn't even try blood sampling at that point. We just couldn't. I didn't want to risk it anymore. But anyway, we just sent them through. Now, if you're asking why I didn't video this, is I woke up that morning, I thought, you know, we have a lot to do here. Like I said, RFID tag, replace the ear tags, because you're supposed to have clear, bright ear tags. And then we had the blood testing and all the vaccinations with the wormer, right? So that's a lot to do at the head gate. So I sat there and I thought, you know what, we should probably get some video. We should probably get some video. You guys always like these videos, but I kind of had that opinion and that feeling of like, you know what, not today. And so we didn't do it. And I'll tell you what, if I would have been videoing, I think it would have taken away and distracted from what we were doing and seeing the issues that we actually had here. I am so glad I didn't, because I think it allowed us to maybe respond a little quicker, and it wasn't just this chaotic maybe mess of, well, what's the video angle? I didn't want any of that to worry about. So the bad things that happened, okay, we had 3 animals that went down, and well, I think it was actually all 3, wasn't it, Charlotte?
Yeah.
So all 3. So the first one that came through, one of them would come in, you can even see some of the tags that's left. I couldn't even get 4's ear tag off. She went down. 13 went down, and literally this chick died. Okay, I'm dead serious. We had the squeeze chute in, she was here, and when an animal goes down, they stress out, they go down. And when they go down, you'll notice that this bar here sits right here. And this bar, I think sometimes is actually too high up. And so on buffalo, the trachea or the esophagus is actually more external than like on cows. And I think when she went down, it kind of cuts off the airway. Anyway, she went down. I'm trying to get blood. Blood stops, blood pressure drops. You know, you can't suck it out of any of them. That's why we couldn't get blood draw on these girls. Some of them, there's 4 of them we couldn't get any blood on. There's no more blood pressure. Anyway, her head is literally down and she rotates her body completely sideways. And I was standing there, and when she's all of a sudden down, she's struggling to breathe, and then one last breath, I'm like, she's dead. Like, dead serious, she's dead. I called up Steve. It's like, dude, Steve, like, I don't know what he could have said you know, those are the times you're just glad you have somebody you can call. And he couldn't fix the problem. But honestly, at that time, I started thinking, I don't have my 45 with me, or I don't have a rifle with me. But literally, she's dead. So all I start doing is I'm trying to like pull her head up, open up that airway so it's not on this bar. She kind of takes a little bit of a wheeze. I swear it's like a half a minute. She takes a little bit of a gasp of air. We couldn't get her up because she's completely, literally on her side. Her legs are up here or underneath, popping out the bottom of the squeeze. We eventually got this doorway. We had to fight this one to get it open. And eventually, somehow, a miracle, God's blessing or something, she eventually woke up after I start kicking her in the butt. Bam! Kicking her to try and, like, I don't know, get some life back in the brain or some responses or something. And eventually she woke up and she was able to stand up with that open up, and she walked out super slow, but eventually she got to her legs and on her legs and was able to walk out and go. That is a freak out. You don't want to be that guy that has a buffalo die in the chute. I'm sure everyone who has had buffalo has maybe had an experience like that. The thing that bothers me so bad is she was super calm. I remember her in that funnel, not panting, nothing. There was no reason that I would ever say she was super stressed out. She wasn't. The other two that went down super quick, they were showing some signs of being stressed. One of them was the one that was all running around with her tongue hanging out. She went down, and so she was slow to get up. Not quite as bad as that first one I just told you about with number 13. But literally, she died. I swear she died. And would that take like 4 minutes of her down on there? And all of a sudden she came back to, and she got up and eventually got up and went out, but I swear she died. So sometimes these animals, when they're working in squeeze chutes, and I violated my rule I just told you about the soak time, how long they're in here. Sometimes I think by the time I got from all the way back there up to here, you know, maybe it's 30 seconds or so. I don't have a streamlined way to get up. I have to go through the funnel, or I have to climb up over the fence if there's already one in the funnel, that kind of a thing. So anyway, that was last Saturday, and I'm so glad I didn't film it. So that way I had undivided attention here, and I think if I was filming it, honestly, I probably would have lost 3 animals. I don't know. I think my soak time might have been too long. I can't be both spots because, again, it increases that soak time. But even if an animal does not look stressed, I swear we just barely got him here, and by the time I could grab the cutter to cut the ear tag off and come around the animal, bam, down. Head drops, they're on the ground, their butts in the air. And I don't know, it was so fast. I don't know what it was. If it was super cold weather, I don't know. I don't know what it was. Nothing makes sense, but they were going down. Don't spend too much time here, all right? Got to get them in, got to get them out. Everybody have their job. Don't play around. We do still have 10 animals. They all seem fine. We washed them the next couple of days. Still 10 animals. I don't know, it was just kind of scary. Hi, Darcy, what's up, little dude? My hand's in the way. Now there you are. If you guys wonder what 7 inches of rain does to a Great Pyrenees, it bathes them. Oh my gosh, he is so white compared to the orange he used to be. Even his tail is looking so good, aren't you, dog? Huh? Huh, Darcy? He's such a fuzzy little guy. I love this little dog. And Lizzie was always just seemed to be white, and she's still white. So, Bug, did you guys take him for a walk? Yeah. All right, so you guys walked him around the complex and everything? See? Ah. They're so fun. They're so good. He just loves us. I was going to actually tell you guys some stories here, right? So on Facebook, you see some people talking about like threats of when the cold snap was hitting Texas, and they're like, if I see anybody who has not put their dog inside of a shelter, I'm calling the ASPCA or something like that, American Society of Protection of Animals. I don't know, whatever. They're going to report us to the cops and all this other crap. All right, guys, so I'll just say, look, I'm not like a huge dog dude. I'm not a guy who likes to interfere in nature in some ways. So, but give me a break and give it a rest. So it was funny, this chick who posted this thing, the comments of people in it were hilarious. And you start hearing stories, like some of them, I'm trying to remember, some of them were like, there was like 4 inches of snow outside and the dog is sitting there buried in the snow, and the person comes to the back door, opens it up and says, oh, come on in, and the dog lifts their head, stares at the owner, and just lays it right back down. didn't even flinch. Another person said I bring the dog in when it was cold, stuck it in there, and they almost break the door down and get back outside, so they let the dog back out, right? There are different kinds of dogs, okay? Some of them don't mind the cold at all. They revel in it. One guy said that he had his little dog out in the field or whatever, and the dog in the frigid cold, freezing snow and wind decides to park himself at the top of the hill where it's the windiest, and he sits there and he enjoys the whole day. Like, certain dogs can be outside and there's no problem, okay? Great Pyrenees have a double coat. Other dogs, I think German Shepherds and some, anyway, like I said, I'm not a dog dude. But some of us guys, chill out. Chill, all right? Sometimes certain dogs, right, don't mind the cold, and it's okay. We can leave him. He got a bath. So anyway, I thought that was amusing. This chick was all crazy and some of the stories. It's always the summers, man. I'm telling you, the summers are always the time I worry the most. Winters, I don't care. It's always the summers. But dogs are doing good. The pigs, on the other hand, we need to tell you about all these piggies. Hey, Hagrid. What's up, dude? Bacon and bits. You know, when you look at Hagrid and then you look at those two, you're like, holy cow.
Hagrid's huge.
They've got some time to grow. We do have a processing date for 3 pigs. Bacon and bits, and it's gonna be either Harriet or Ariana. Middle of March. So these guys will be about 28 weeks and they'll be old. All right, can you guys see this thing? Like, look at all this. This is literally, the last big rain was Wednesday. We had a little bit of rain last night. All of that mud. I'd go over there and show you, but I'm just not that thrilled about it. Up here was puddles. We had so much rain. It was like so much water everywhere. So the water hole up here, the water comes down and started coming in right there. It pops out under here, and then right over here, and goes all the way through. In fact, here, guys, you can still see the remnants right there. So since our last video, we were talking about how Ariana and Harriet were looking awful pregnant, right? Well, one of you guys commented, I bet you it's by the end of the month, and you know what, you're right. We had those cold snap, and we had those first 2 or 3 days, and then it warmed up. I was gonna say it's gonna be warming up. Literally that day, Harriet had her babies. That night, Ariana had hers. So this is kind of what happens. If you notice, we don't have any pigs. Piglets. So all of them died. So what happened was Harriet, she had 3 that were stillborn, 2 that died, or 5 that were still surviving. They didn't freeze. Then Ariana, I'm not exactly sure how much she really had. I would say maybe 6. It didn't freeze that night. And it was funny to see that they would go over to the hut over there on the far one, and just, the moms would be belly to belly, and you just see all the babies inside. And it was all pretty cool and all. They stayed warm, and in fact, Bacon and Bit started like laying on top, and it was just a whole mound, and they were all cute in there. This rainstorm that came through, you can see what it's done to the whole pen. We don't have mud usually here until you get pigs that have just rooted and found all the clay. Anyway, they were at that far hut, and all the water just puddled up and made it so bad that all the pigs got stuck in the piglets got stuck in the mud and died. So it wasn't the cold, it was the fact that we just had over 7 inches of rain in like 3 days, and it just washed them out, man. They just didn't do it. So we don't have any piglets. But we're gonna process 3 pigs, like I said. Harriet and Ariana. Harriet, to me, is the one, of course, Bug likes her. I think she's done pretty well. She had 9, and I don't think Ariana birthed that many. So that would make me lean towards keeping Harriet. So if you have a preference, let me know. If you have any suggestions on how to decide, let me know. We love our little red wattle pigs, but and I just don't need 2 moms birthing litters all the time. Not right now. So we'll start small scale and work our way up. Well, we're gonna get 1 bag of hay or feed for Hagrid. We're gonna give a bale of hay to the buffalo. So we're gonna end it here. Thanks for joining along with us, guys. I will say we did give hay to the moms during that cold spell. Everything else like that, just things didn't work out. So hope you're having a great week and that you're staying warm. But otherwise, we'll end it here. Join us next time. Blackacre Ranch. Thanks, bye.